Just got off the phone with the publishers and we're going to have to change the book cover.
James Smith.
Because this picture is floating around the internet.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Someone commented on one of my most recent videos and they said this. Do you know what? I thought you were a bit of a knob until I saw this video, fair play, mate. So I want to use this opportunity for any of you out there that think I'm a knob, a penis, a dickhead, the opportunity to maybe change your mind.
Well, I was going to say, you say you've sort of looking into it for a year, but actually you've been looking into how to be confident your whole life, because despite, you know, being this very outspoken person, very unapologetic in your approach, confidence didn't come naturally to you to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, if we rewind 10 years, I used to work for N-Power doing door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
So I had a postcode in Gloucester where I'd have to knock on about 100 doors to make a sale. It wasn't about confidence, it was about being completely fine with it not going right. And with every door that I knocked on and failed, it added to my competency, it improved my pitch. And I was thinking to myself, eventually one of the doors I knock on is going to be a successful sale. So then I managed to take that through my early on career working sales and marketing. So when I became a PT, it wasn't about taking rejection personally on the gym floor. I thought to myself, there's a certain amount of people I'm going to have to talk to get a client. And the same goes in the dating world. There's a certain amount of people I need to talk to get a number, a certain amount of numbers I'll have to talk to arrange a date, and a certain amount of dates I'll have to go on to find a partner who's suitable to me. So many people think they need this magical potion of confidence or an elixir or something that we're born with, when the fact of the matter is a lot of people are using this as a mask, as a guise to choose the path of inaction, of not doing things. And I wanted to make people very aware with this book that that's what's happening.
So one of the main reasons a lot of people on the internet think I'm a knob is that when using things like Instagram, Facebook, when you're looking at Reels, TikTok, this kind of culture, you're given a very short period of time to get your point across, which is why I'm enjoying making YouTube content, because I can be a bit slower and a bit more methodic with it. And the more condensed you try and get your message across, the more you turn out to look like a prick.
There's a massive utility to failure that we don't talk about, and we're not educating young people and people even that aren't young about this. With every time you fail at something, not only do you become a little bit more competent in your endeavor, you're actually finding out what doesn't work.
Do you find, though, that you can be confident in some areas and then not in others?
Yeah, for instance, this weekend, Ventum Apollo, 3,500 people. Doing that, I won't be too nervous. But if we rewind about a year and you say, James, that girl that you said, you know, was looking really good, if you go get a number, I'll be like, well, God, I'll be saying to myself, no, I'm too nervous. So
yeah, so how do you address that balance then? Because it's not going to work in all areas of your life, or can it?
100%. I would say it's an experience thing. I mean, my first ever talk had 7 people in, and I was very happy to go through the motions of, you know, progressing in that area. But because of conveniences I had in my younger life, like dating apps, imagine confidence like fitness, it's something that hasn't been trained in years. So suddenly it is daunting and it is going to be uncomfortable. We all need to appreciate we have gaps in our confidence, we have somewhere we can work on.
And I could be big-headed here, even if you think I'm a knob. I think that's some pretty good advice. And this next part is something that I really enjoy talking about as well.
Everything we think about in our minds leans towards a pessimistic outcome. And I think that's probably an evolutionary trait. If I think about human beings that were overly optimistic for hundreds of thousands of years, they'd go, oh, saber-toothed tiger, this looks cuddly, or they'd see a big stretch of water and they think, I could swim that.
So it's protection.
It's protection, and through evolution, we do have this pessimistic outcome. I know that if my phone rings late at night, I think, oh, what's happened to this person? Or, you know, if I get pain in my side, I'm like, guys, this is it, I'm gonna die. When we do have this pessimistic outcome, say you're going on a date, we often think, what if this is the worst date I go on? And I get people to flip it and say, what if it's the best? People go, what if quitting my job is the worst decision I make this year? What if it's the best decision? So we can influence and impact our expectations. And I think that's about as close as we should go to the idea of manifestation.
Right, okay. What about this pain point thing that you talk about in the book? How does that help?
Yeah, so a lot of people, I was a personal trainer on the gym floor for years, they'd come over and they'd be like, James, you know, I want to get a bit more toned, and I want to get a bit more fit. And I wouldn't buy it. I'd say there's something else. It's pretty daunting for you to come meet a PT, what is it? And we'd delve and delve and delve, and they'd go, do you know what? I want my husband to stop turning the light off before we have sex. And I was like, that's it. That's the pain point.
God.
And again, with things like dating, someone might go, oh, I want to put myself out, or some bravado male might say, yeah, you know, I want to get laid more. You go further, and the truth is they're lonely. So if people can find these pain points, whether it's being lonely, undervalued, you know, whatever it is in their life, they can use that as a motivator.
I still can't believe this to this day. I got off air. My manager looks at me, he goes, you just swore on live television. I go, no, I didn't. I said the word piss. I said the word piss.
Yeah, my rugby teammates for years used to take the out of me from, I used to write blogs and articles or whatever.
Piss is not a swear word. I'm pretty sure. And there was even a news report that Philip Schofield has to apologise because I said piss on air. Pathetic. If you think the piss is a swear word, you're taking the piss. So all I wanted to do was take the opportunity, for some of you that may think I'm a dickhead, to listen to some of the things I actually speak about. I made a good living from taking information from people quite smarter than me and breaking it down into an understandable format so that people could learn a bit easier. But I wasn't joking. We're going to have to change the cover. Can't be associated with that. See you in a bit.